This is Paros Island, where you left us last time. The Aegean Sea was in the grip of a strong Meltemi wind that blows from the north. Fortunately, there's a well-protected anchorage at the top of the island. This is Intrepid Bear, a 40-foot sailboat off to explore the world with her crew, Ian and Kate.
Come aboard and let's see what's out there.
So it's not too hot in the breeze. We're going to go see if we can get up the top of this hill here and look out over the other side.
See what the sea's like on the other side.
Yeah, it was pretty rough yesterday, so we'll go and have a look. So it's breezy out here, but not as breezy as it was yesterday. Yesterday was smashing in here a lot more. It's still quite choppy out there, nothing dangerous. And there's a sailing boat out there, just maybe uncomfortable.
That's a hot walk on a hot day, thank God we've had the wind. There's Naxos over there. Probably won't come out on camera, but through the mist there, the big mountains, that's Naxos.
It's Kate being a mountain goat.
We spent some time in this anchorage waiting for the chance to cross to Naxos to meet family, and while we were there were a few jobs to do.
Just going to service the winch. This particular starboard main winch, primary winch, has been squealing under strain, and you should really service them every year. We haven't serviced them since we've had the boat, which is a bit remiss of us. So I'm going to take this winch apart and give it a clean up and a service. Basically it should just need cleaning and re-greasing, so that's what we're going to do. It doesn't look that bad, but clearly it is.
How sensible putting on.
I'm going to take the base off. That'd be a bit of a nightmare getting up under there and just clean the base as best I can in position. And now I'm sweating. It's really sticky, thick grease in the end of that.
What would make it sticky?
I don't know. Possibly the wrong grease. Possibly Sahara dust. Don't really know, but it's really gone like treacle.
Sahara dust, that'd be from, there's that one in Gibraltar had that.
Yeah, the Kalima.
Kalima, yes.
They live in a salt. In fairly simple terms, and it's not that difficult a job, you just need to clean every part as best as you can, then grease it lightly and put it all back together.
Okay.
Because I got bits everywhere, what I'm trying to do is rebuild each little section and then put them back as I go. So this is one of the ratchet pull mechanisms that goes in, and then this goes in here with a pin. get it lined up. Oh, look at that. Smooth. That's cool. Yeah, so then I just put a very light layer of grease on all the moving parts, but nothing too much. It had too much grease on before, and it doesn't want too much grease according to what I read. Okay, this is just the final bit of grease and everything else is back together. This wasn't a how-to video, so I haven't filmed every step. Yeah, well, let's just get the final tightening. Feels good.
Job done.
Job done.
Good morning. It's 5:30 in the morning. I don't think I've been up this early for a long time. In fact, I think the last time we were up when it was dark to go on passage was leaving Cadiz. So we're up this early to start a long passage from Paros to Naxos, which is 8 miles. The reason we're up so early isn't because of tide or anything. There is no tide in the Med. It's because the Meltemi, it generally always dies down overnight. So we decided to wait, get up early in the morning, go 1 hour and 40 minutes, 2 hours around to Naxos this time, and if we want to, go back to bed, because hopefully the seas will have calmed down overnight because the Meltemi stopped and the wind stopped blowing yesterday evening. It's been fairly calm all evening, so it'll be nice and flat and get out there before the wind wakes up. One of the lovely things about being up early, it appears, I mean, other than the beautiful sunrise, is that you can actually see the nearby islands. I think after the sun's been up for a while, it just gets so hazy. The time we've been on Paros, we've not seen the islands to the north of us, which are Mykonos and Delos. Haven't seen them from Paros until today. So the haze hasn't kicked in quite as much yet, so you can see the islands ahead. Just like that, at 07:15, the wind arrives. We've now got 20 odd knots on the beam. Yeah, it's not as soon as the sun comes up. Once the sun's been up for a little while, it appears it's like someone switched on the wind, and the sea is not flat and mirror-like anymore. Within 3 minutes, this is it. It looks like we timed that pretty well. We've got about 5 minutes to our waypoint, which is just inside the shelter here. It's fine to go across it, it's just we were trying to beat up north out of Paros to then slingshot around the top, so it would have been quite lively beating out of Paros, out of that anchorage.
As we arrived, it was too early to go into Naxos harbour, so we went into the anchorage near to the ferry port. They say the ferry wake in this anchorage can be humongous. I think we're about to find out. Well, a little bit bouncy, but that one was not humongous. Just give her ass a bit of a slapping. There might be other ferries that are worse, but that one was alright, manageable. If we were lying side on, we'd have rolled a bit, but most of the time the wind will be holding us in this direction anyway. So yeah, not too bad. Later that day we moved around to the marina where the ferry swells were much more of an issue. There was a fine balance between being close enough to get off versus the stern hitting the rough concrete, and every time feeling like the shock loads would pull the cleats off of the boat. We did not enjoy that harbour.
Let's just take your little wander around the streets of Naxos early in the morning. I thought I'd have a little look around. The old town is beautiful, and yeah, just come for a little walk along the harbour wall. Old Town Naxos is about as cute and quintessentially Greek as you can find, but best explore early as this island is busy. So we've come to this bar for and what happened at that happy hour?
Well, it says happy hour. All cocktails are €6. It's 9:30 at the moment, so Kate ordered wine because clearly it isn't happy hour this time of night. But she asked when happy hour was for future reference, and he said it's also now, it's almost all night.
So I've gone from a glass of wine to a mojito, and
Back down at the harbour, as we had now been there for several days, there was a little bit more work to be done. So dinghy's been in the water for several days now, maybe like 4 or 5 days, and it's starting to fill with water and it'll start going green. And I can almost forget it's over the bow there, so I need to get it out of the water, but it's going to be quite a mission because I can't get up to the back of the boat. So I'm going to have to use the Genoa pole, not the Genoa pole, the spinnaker pole as a crane. So that's what we're going to try and do. Okay, stop there and then let it down under control, so release it nice and easy under control.
okay.
Yep, a little bit more. The main reason for our visit to Naxos was to meet Abby and Dom, Kate's daughter and fiancé. We hired a car and went in search of some of the historical sites of Naxos. These stone giants, known as Kouros, date from the 6th century BC, but it appears that people were more taken by the cats of Naxos.
Let's bring some cat treats with you.
Right, stop talking. Failed. Whose temple is this?
I don't know. Whose temple is this?
You've been saying it the whole way here.
No, I can't remember.
Oh.
Whose temple is it?
I don't know, you said Dimitri's.
Oh, it's not Dimitri's, it's spelled Demet. Yeah, I don't know. See the bit above?
Voiceover required.
Despite research, I still can't promise the best pronunciation, but this is the temple of Demeter. Demeter is the goddess of grain, and this temple in her honour was built in the 6th century BC.
Back down by the harbour is an unfinished temple with this imposing arch. This site dates from 530 years BC and was intended as a temple to the well-known Greek god Apollo.
About 25-30 knots out there today.
Despite the obvious joy of seeing family, all was not well in our world. The incessant Meltemi and the surging harbour were grinding on us badly. But it ran deeper than that. There was trouble in paradise, and I think we need to try and explain. So, not very good at this stage chatting thing, but yeah, we need to have a chat about what's changed, because we were well on our way to Turkey or Cyprus for another nice warm winter after our winter in the Algarve last year. But we are actually here in Montenegro at the moment. You'll know that if you've seen our Instagram or Facebook.
So why are we in Montenegro when we were heading towards Cyprus and Turkey? It was like what we were working towards a goal for 5 years, weren't we? And then suddenly we achieved it. And
yeah, we were trying to script this a bit and but we're also trying to not ad-lib it, we're trying to get it right. Be honest. Yeah, trying to be honest. But so yes, we had this plan. So for 5 years we were, on reflection, blindly set on getting to Paxos, and that was absolutely fabulous. We did that. We had that 5-year plan. We left work, we prepared the boat, we headed south. Laka.
He's here.
We're in Laka. Can you believe it?
I know.
It's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then we left Paxos, and that's when the first sort of hints started creeping in as we were heading. Yeah, so it's a bit weird for a while. We're kind of 5 years in the planning at least to go to Laka. But we're just bimbling now with no particular plan, apart from we've got to get out of Schengen again at the end of August. Partly a bit of an anticlimax. There was the thing that I actually discussed in Corinth and filmed it, but I didn't make the edit. And I've had it a couple of times since I've retired. Is like, it's a bit deep to say it, but what is my purpose now? And yeah. I think you were the same. Is what actually is our purpose? You do definitely have a moment, and I think retiring after a career, particularly I suppose, well, in any job, and to suddenly not have to do anything, it kind of does make you step back and question who you are and what you're doing. So don't get me wrong, I don't want to go back to work. No desire to do that, but it is still a strange thing to adjust to.
As we were moving further east, I think our senses of discontent began to grow and unease, and we were trying to figure out, talking a lot about why we were starting to feel this way. Having to bounce in that Schengen was causing us stress. So we were going to go to Turkey and slow down, but then realised that wasn't quite fitting everything. You know, I began to miss my family more and more. It became, the further away we got, the harder I knew it would be to get home. But this feeling just wasn't going away from me, the fact that I would probably only see them once or twice a year, so that was going for me. You had a particular itch that you were struggling with as well, weren't you?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but I struggle with the thought of things breaking down. It takes so long to get parts out here, so hard to find anything. So language barriers are a difficulty, and loads of people deal with it. A lot of people enjoy the challenge, but for me it was a constant stress, coupled with the Schengen time, because we couldn't spend a long time in Schengen. If something breaks when you've only got 2 weeks left in Schengen, Like I say, rightly or wrongly, that was weighing on me. And like I say, some people enjoy that challenge. I didn't.
So those are our main things, and as well, which is quite ironic, we both struggled with the heat.
Yeah, we relished the thought of being warm. We hated ourselves for admitting that we were too hot. But 38 degrees is too hot. If we had longer to be in, so for example Greece, if we could be in Greece for 6 months or more, then you endure the 2 months where it's a bit too hot to do anything. But basically we were in Greece for 3 months of this summer. 2 months of those were a bit too hot, I'm ashamed to admit.
So we've come up with plan B.
Is it even plan B? It's probably plan like Z, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we almost feel with this plan like we're quitting, but we're absolutely not.
No.
We are, instead of wintering like we did last year in Portugal, this year in Montenegro, so we stopped for the winter. In the coming winters, we're going to stop in the UK, believe it or not, after all we've said about the UK winter weather and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, ask us in 12 months.
Yeah, and this could change again, but yeah, so we're going to make our way over this season back to the UK to arrive November, December, whatever. We've got various plans to hopefully get visas, but that you'll have to see how that plays out of the year, as we will, because we've no idea yet. And then from that, we were then going to cruise Northern Europe, but particularly we want to do Scotland.
We missed it, didn't we?
We wanted to do Scotland before we left. You'll see that right in our very first practice episode when we were incredibly wooden, even more wooden than we are now.
Is it east? No, west. Go to Scotland for a few weeks, maybe longer.
So that's our sort of next few years, and then we'll assess it. You know, the grandchildren will get older. We will get a bit more money next year because Kate retires. So we can have a winter recharge where we're back in our home country. We can get stuff easily. We can see people regularly. And then the summer we can cruise off. And when we're cruising more Northern Europe, we're probably never more than a week from the UK. If we do run out of Schengen time, we can dash back. The plan is that we'll get back to the UK for November, December, spend 2-3 months, maybe 4 months stopped, and then push off and do whatever we do in 2024. Which may be Scotland, maybe France, but we'll wait and see. But what I just want to be absolutely clear is we're not quitting.
No.
We don't have a house, we're not moving back into a house. We live on the boat. We're just changing our cruising ground from the Mediterranean back to Northern Europe.
Yeah. I think we both feel quite content with the decision.
Well, and I mean, that's actually the beauty. One of the beauties of this lifestyle is we've tried it, we're not as happy with it as we thought we might be, and so we can change it.
Yeah.
We've tried it and we just adjust our plans and carry on and cruise somewhere else.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is, just because it didn't work for us, or isn't working for us right now, don't take that as a reason not to do it. Some people absolutely love the challenge of dealing with different languages or finding things in different places. They enjoy that challenge. I don't. Other people don't miss family in the same way that Kate's missing her family at the moment. So it's just horses for courses. It's been amazing. But we're going to make a change this year and head back where things are a little bit easier. So there it is, a big change of plans. It's been hard to accept and admit that our long-held dream didn't fulfill us as expected. Please don't think we are complaining. We know we are incredibly lucky to be able to lead this lifestyle. But we also need to be honest enough to accept our feelings and change the adventure. Please do stick around, there's still plenty to come in the 2022 season and many adventures ahead.